Okay. Oh, so thanks for the introduction. Oh, sorry. Thanks. Oh, thanks for the introduction, and I want also to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present the work I've done with Alexia Ofev and Cyril Elouard in Grenoble. So first, I'll start with quick reminders about stochastic thermodynamics and optomechanical platforms, and then I'll present you our proposal to measure the error of time with with an optomechanical platform, and finally I'll talk to you about how it can be used to measure Jarzynski equality. So thermodynamics was originally developed to study steam engines. Is there? No. Okay. Is there a pointer? No. Is it a laser pointer? Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. So it was originally okay. So the goal is to use the system transformation to extract heat from the bath and to convert it into work to give it to the battery and, for instance, make the train move forward. But this applied science also led to the study of more fundamental notions such as irreversibility. So some transformation happens only one way, like breaking a glass, and this way gives us the direction of the arrow of time. And thermodynamics quantifies this irreversibility with entropy production, which obeys the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, but that's the macroscopic picture. Now, if we look at the microscopic scale, then all physical laws are reversible at this scale. So the question is, where does this irreversibility come from? So to try to understand that, we can start by looking at a simple case where there is only the system and the battery. The interaction between the two is deterministic, and so the system's evolution is described by a time-dependent Hamiltonian. And since we are interested in the microscopic scale, then the system state is described by a microstate. And during the transformation, the system follows a trajectory, sigma, which is the succession of microstates of the system. So we are interested in irreversibility. So the question is, can we reverse the movie? And in this case, the answer is yes. We just have to time reverse the Hamiltonian. And then the system will follow the reverse trajectory with absolute certainty because it's a fully deterministic case. But in reality, we never control everything. There is always a stochastic entity that randomly disturbs the system, and in our case, it's a thermal bath. So now, when we try to reverse the movie, then we can only reverse what we control, but we can't reverse the random perturbation coming from the bath, and therefore the system does not follow the exact reverse trajectory with absolute certainty. And we can associate probabilities with the trajectories and define entropy production for a single trajectory using the probability that the system follows the direct trajectory sigma during the direct transformation and the probability p tilde that the system follows the corresponding reverse trajectory during the reverse transformation. And from this definition of entropy production, we can derive the central fluctuation theorem, which has an important consequence, which is that by convexity of the exponential, this entropy production on average obeys the second law. So now we want to link this entropy production to the other thermodynamic quantities. So we are considering an isothermal transformation, and at the macroscopic scale, the entropy production is given by the work minus the free energy variation. And the second law gives us a fundamental bound on the work. Now, if we look at the microscopic scale, then the entropy production still has the same expression, but with a work which is the work received by the system along the trajectory. And instead of having an inequality for the work, we have Jarzynski's equality. So now what we want is to measure thermodynamic quantities and check this Jarzynski equality but not for a classical system, but for a two-level system. So the usual setup would be to have a classical operator driving the two-level system, and the two-level system also in contact with a thermal bath, and this interaction with the bath would be described by a Lindblad master equation. So to obtain the heat and work exchange with the system, we would have to either monitor the system or the bath. But it can be experimentally challenging, so what we are proposing is to measure the battery instead. But if the battery is a classical operator, then its energy is too large to be impacted by the work exchanges here. So we propose to replace this classical operator by a nanomechanical oscillator. So how can we implement this kind of setup? We can use a hybrid optomechanical system. So this is an example of an experimental platform implementing a hybrid optomechanical system, and in this case the two-level system is a quantum dot, the yellow triangle here, and the mechanical oscillator is a nanowire. And the quantum dot is not centered inside the wire, so when the wire oscillates, then the strength field applied on the quantum dot varies, and it changes the energy gap between the two levels. And it was checked experimentally that the energy of the excited state really follows the oscillation of the nanowire. So the energy gap here is proportional to the x position of the wire. So we have this two-level system interacting with the thermal bath, and this interaction is described by a Lindbladian term, and it corresponds to random photon exchanges, so that's heat. On the other hand, the two-level system is also interacting with this mechanical oscillator, and this interaction is described by a Hamiltonian, and it corresponds to work exchanges. But it's a bit less obvious than in the case of the driving by an external operator. So let's have a closer look. So this is the Hamiltonian describing the hybrid optomechanical system, and that's the coupling term. So here it's the position of the oscillator, and here the population of the excited state. So because of this coupling term, the two-level system frequency is modulated by the battery. And since we are looking at a coherent state of the mechanical oscillator, then the frequency follows a portion of a sine function like that. And also, another effect of this coupling is that the battery's rest position depends on the two-level system state. So if the two-level system is in ground state, then this coupling vanishes, and we just have a quarter of a circle in the XP plane. And if the two-level system is in the excited state, then we have a shift in the rest position. And so by measuring the endpoint, we can have information on the state of the two-level system. So it was already shown in the previous work from the group that the oscillator really behaves like a battery, and that on average, in the ultra-strong coupling regime, the average work is equal to minus the average mechanical energy variation. What we did in this work is that we extended this result to a single trajectory, and we showed that it could be used to directly measure Jarzensky equality in a quantum open system. So to go from the average energy exchanges to the trajectories, we have unraveled the master equation with a quantum jump approach. And the key thing here is that due to our initial states and the kind of interactions, then the hybrid optomechanical system is always factorized. So we can always separate the two-level system's trajectory and define its energy, which depends here on this effective frequency, depending on the position of the oscillator, and also look at separately at the trajectory of the mechanical oscillator and compute its mechanical energy. And therefore, we can show that the stochastic work exchange with the two-level system is equal to minus the mechanical energy variation of the mechanical oscillator. So by measuring the oscillator at the beginning and at the end, we can obtain the work received by the two-level system. So now that we have the work, we can look at the entropy production. So we start back from the definition, and if we express the probabilities here, we obtain this two-term expression. So the first term is the entropy production we would get if we only focus on the two-level system. And it's exactly the one I showed you in the introduction, except that I replaced the work here by minus the mechanical energy variation. And in this case, the transformation undergone by the two-level system is an out of equilibrium driving, and this reduced entropy production obeys Jarzynski equality in a given regime. I'll talk to you about it just after. And we have this second term. I don't have time to speak about it, but it's because we have many different final states of the battery, and we need to take them into account. And because of that, we have an extra term in the entropy production. So in the regime, Gm over omega, so Gm is the coupling strength and omega is the mechanical frequency. And if this ratio is a lot smaller than the mechanical amplitude, then Jarzynski equality is fulfilled, and the oscillator is really equivalent to an external drive. So you can see it here on these numerical simulation results. The red box are the external drive, and the blue dots, the hybrid optomechanical system. And the reason why we need to be in this regime is because if Gm over omega, it's the spread of the trajectories here, is too large compared to this beta 0 here, then the two-level system will see the difference in the drive depending on the trajectories, and it will no longer be Markovian. Okay, so really quickly, we have also taken into account the measurement precision by saying that we had a finite precision delta beta on the measurement of the real part and imaginary part of beta. And with that, we can check that if Gm over omega for a given beta, delta beta of 2 here, if Gm over omega is small, then we don't have Jarzynski equality, and we have a low mutual information between the actual state of the mechanical oscillator and the measured state. But if we increase Gm over omega, we spread more the trajectories, and so we get a better resolution, and we go back to the expected results of Jarzynski equality. So to conclude, the battery's energy fluctuations are equal to work fluctuations, and this result can be used to measure directly Jarzynski equality in a quantum open system, and so that makes hybrid optomechanical systems a promising platform for trajectory thermodynamics. Thank you for your attention, and if you have questions.
For the nice talk, I will allow only one short question because we are a bit out of time. The next speaker should prepare.
Yes, can you show again the slide with the oscillate, the battery, the system, and the bath when you say that they interchange photons?